Sitwe, the capital city of Rakhine State in western Burma, was once a small fishing village. Although over time its population has grown and it has now become a small city, it still remains primitive and essentially undeveloped. Due to the political situation and Burma's isolation from the rest of the world, life in Sitwe remains, in essence, untouched by the influences of the outside world. Due to economic stagnation, progress in Sitwe has been negligible, and what little development there has been has benefited the inhabitants to an even lesser degree than in other parts of the country. Although a new harbour is under construction, there is little else of economical merit in the city. Driving through downtown Sitwe, one does not feel one is in a capital city. The market, as it has for generations, remains a focal point, supplying the population with most of their basic daily needs. The few small shops dotted along the main street are poorly stocked with only the very bare necessities.
And many remain closed.
For those who can afford it, life within the city centre offers the benefits of occasional paved roads and a few hours of electricity per day. But these benefits immediately stop at the outskirts of Sitwe. Here, the poorest struggle to find a way out of poverty.
But for those who cannot, only one option remains.
Back-breaking, unreliable labour is the only option for them. A life of toil and hard work that starts for many at a very young age. And unfortunately offers little hope for improvement in the future.
Now we're going to the more poorer people side, that poor children who come to our school are living there. Mr. Mark, this is the first time that I bring you to this place in order to show how poor children who come to our school are living in this rural part. And this is a really poor place. And many of the students from this part are coming to our school.
I think the meaning is that we do something in the temple for the poorest and not for the people who can pay it. As far as I can see here, houses are about 80 centimeters above the ground. And as far as I read, those areas coming under the water, or the water coming to 50 centimeters above the ground. So in summertime, people has to take little boats to go to the street. They're living on sometimes 3 on 3 meters, 6 on 3 meter, in very difficult circumstances. That's what I see now. No electricity, no running water, no toilets.
In Sittwe, we have about 200,000 people, and about 20% of the population in Sittwe are very bad, in very poor situation. In this area, according to the chief from this village, there are around 100 houses. Her name is Soo Chi A. So is overwhelming. Chi is very peace, and A is also very quiet.
Soo Chi A is one of 200 children living in this impoverished community. Her father tries to support the family, working as one of Sittwe's many rickshaw drivers, a physically draining job and a very uncertain way to earn a living.
Soo Chi A's chance for a better future starts every morning with a half-hour walk to her monastic school in Sittwe's city centre. Traditionally, these schools were an option for children from all walks of life, offering a good education that contributed in the past to a literacy rate far above other countries in Southeast Asia. But due to a distant government, mismanagement and economic stagnation, the entire school system has dramatically deteriorated. Nowadays, the monastic schools provide education only to children of parents who are unable to pay the fees of the government schools.
Or if they have no schooling, there's zero chances to make something of their life. I think it's basic that you can go to school. December 2007, I met Zoe on a journey, and we started. We were in the temple, and the teachers didn't come in time, and he said they're not paid, or sometimes they get a few dollars a month, or they have nothing. So I cannot ask them to come in time. They were all in one temple, one area, which was very difficult. There were about 300 students in one area, and there was a lot of noise. Very difficult to teach. For the first thing we can do is in the temple make classrooms, pay teachers, and try that people bring their children to the school.
Even though the monastic school education system is free of charge, the precarious situation in which many families live means that they simply cannot afford to do without the small salary that child labour brings in and its help in supporting the family. The potential long-term benefits of education, which is essential if these children are to have any chance of a better future, is therefore totally lost.
She's the mother of the daughter who comes to our school. Again, Amare, Ama Father Minty, and again, Petelo Zapai Sinda Tabale.
bây giờ đốt vàng sang bán này à cái tao ngon ở lúc cái ngon mà xí lu chế chi lu có
một đi tôi anh nào cái của ta business thà liền bây giờ đốt vàng sang đấy ta phải bây giờ test gì sang đấy ta phải đi khai gì sang đấy ta phải xem đã đi nào cái đó ta phải business thà vào liền
giờ mà đâu có sorry vào đây bây giờ thế đang đâu lên mà thế này bảo này nên bảo lao thế cái chỗ cái chỉ này bây giờ lu ta phải để cho mà phải tao có mình bảo nào sorry vào lu cả thế để mà để mơ này
là lâu thì còn phụ nữ sẽ cút vào liền
giờ mà con ngồi đó khâu tông lao tao mà phụ nữ luôn khâu tông lao ngồi đó khâu tông lao xì lao tao mà phụ nữ
Thanks to the involvement and actions instigated by Mr. Mark Morby, circumstances in the Shui A pagoda have changed for the better. What started in 2007 with a short visit and some impromptu promises to support the heavily dysfunctional school quickly became a new era for the school. With Mark's financial donations to help support and pay the salaries of the teachers, a new beginning was made that changed the lives of all of those associated with the temple.
Behind of me, this is our monastery, namely Soo Chi A monastery. This is in Sittwe. This is I'm helping for. This monastery was built in 1903 in the British time, and this monastery was very famous because we had a head monk. We had a monk who was the first monk in Myanmar who asked British for independence. He was the very political monk. That's why this is very famous for. Another thing, last about 6-7 years ago, the opposition lady Aung San Soo Chi, when she came to Sittwe, no monastery was allowed to receive her. This is the only one. That's why this is very famous for. Another point is in the past, when we had British time, also some leaders from India, like Nehru, for example, even they came to this monastery. That's why we had a very important history or tradition for political in this monastery as well. And last 2000, our monastic school was open for poor people, for poor children who cannot go to government school. And at that time I was guiding tourists, and I came to this monastery last 2000. And when I saw the situation of the monastery, it was really, I was really very sad because there was no seat, no classroom, just around 500 children are sitting on the ground floor, which is very cold.
What started in 2007 with one donation for paying the teacher's salary turned into a project that would reach in 2011 to a highlight of opening a new two-story school at the temple's compound.
As you know, for me this is a very big day, and I suppose for the temple as well. We started 3 years ago with donations, and everything developed to the point where we are now. The teachers are paid. In June, we have follow-up lessons for the older students. We have a higher level of education and of teaching. We have doctors who give free consultations. And last
A celebration marks the school's inauguration. Arkanese drums, known only in Burma, set the rhythm. Monks from all around Sittwe come to give their blessings. Following Buddhist tradition, the day is carefully chosen to ensure the sanctity and long life of the school. Many sacred rituals take place, including those involving the purifying effect of water. Local businessmen and foreigners offer their support in the form of generous donations. Mark's patronage is honored and his soul is protected. The large crowd attending the ceremony shows the importance of the event.
This is for you.
I helped some organizations in the past, and one day, like I told you, I said with a little budget I can do a lot in countries which are not very rich. So I traveled in Cambodia and in Thailand, and I went with a few organizations. I visited what they did, and I didn't totally feel attractive. They did a very good job, but I couldn't enter, I felt, in their organization because I couldn't do much. I would have to give the money to them. There would be administration costs and so on. The work they did was perfect.
With money donated by the newly set up foundation Schools for Asia, a project with strictly zero overhead costs set up by Mr. Mark Morby, which was financed almost entirely by himself, and with the supervision in Burma done with his former guide and best friend, Mr. Zo, and with the blessings from the head monk from the Shwejari monastery, the project turned into a great success story that positively affected the lives of many people from Sittwe's poorer communities.
Because 80% of this population of the world lives with less than $10 a day. So 80%. So that makes we in fact in the few percent best ones of the world. No tsunamis, no earthquakes, stable economy. So if you're a decent man, I mean, you try to give something back. You read papers and you make the decision, I want to live like who? Like someone like a Mandela or like Martin Luther King, or you want to live like somebody who just gives out his money in big restaurants, big hotels, and you don't give anything to the porter who brings your luggage. So I chose a direction. I prefer to do something, having a good life. I have a passionate life because I'm here doing this. It's work. I get feedback from the people here, from you, from the head monk. I mean, another country, other culture. It's amazing for me.
We make thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people happy.
ကြောင်းတော်ကိုတဲ့လိုက်နေပြင်းဘယ်စာမောင်တင်မရုံးရဲ့လို့ဘယ်စာမောင်တင်မရုံးရဲ့လို့ဘယ်စာအော်ဘယ်နဝမောင်တင်မရုံးရဲ့လို့မေလေးကိုတန်ချိုနော်ပြောခဲ့ပါဦး
There's a lot to do with it. With 200,000 people living here, there's a lot of poverty, so it's a never-ending story. What we start, we will never end. The first building we should make in the temple area is toilets, because we have very little toilets for a lot of people.
It's true, eh? In the countryside, people don't have toilet. They go just to the jungle, to the bushes, and they use maybe this kind of stick, maybe bamboo or wood, and if it is not possible, they just easily take the leaf of the plants and they clean.
The leaf, yes, but the stick.
Stick also they use. The government, around there, kind of look at the new come, yeah.
There's a hell of a lot to do there. It's not a problem to invest on that area to make life better for those children. There's also some doctors coming on the area of the temple, and probably also there we can do something in the future. One of the worst countries for doctors is Burma. So we must, if we can help doctors, eventually we must.
One of the positive effects that started immediately after the opening of the new school building was the possibility of free medical care using the now free space in the temple.
Before they can find another hospital or the doctor.
One of the positive effects that started immediately after the opening of the new school building was the possibility of medical care using the now free space in the temple. With a rapidly growing number of patients who have no other option but to use this free of charge consultation service, the need for improvement here is also clearly visible. Although the consultation and medicine is free, a small donation is asked for, except for the very poorest. The foundation offers the possibility to get all charges waived. The doctors have high hopes for improvement in the future. Plans for building a new clinic are on the way, and with donations collected from local businessmen and foreigners, their plans will be realized, hopefully in the near future as well.
There is no free healthcare service in Rakhine State before December 2010. Therefore, we local people from Rakhine State try to establish one of the free healthcare service in here, but there is no support. Clinic in here, we need permission or legally registration. Therefore, we already did our registration in our state health department. They allow me and gave a license for that. We already got.
You already get a license to do it. And you...
license, we can't do that. The Garuna had free healthcare service. That is a Great Compassion Charity Clinic, we call.
And so it's really become an institution. The difference between 2007 and now, I think, is the difference between black and white. Now each teacher has the pupils in one classroom. We have about at least between, for the lower classes, more than 500 students. all the money we get, it's entirely to pay teachers, and it goes entirely to the children.
She didn't go to school or class because if she likes to go to extra class, she needs to pay. So according to her, her mother cannot afford to pay for that.
တကယ်အမားရဲ့အခုယောက်ျားလုံးချမ်းတဲ့အလုပ်လုပ်နေအမားရဲ့အပိုဝံငွေပါအမားကိုအလုပ်လုပ်လို့ကိုရနိုင်ဖို့ဝံငွေကိုထားလို့မရလားလေဇာဇာလုပ်ကြရနိုင်ဘူးလေ
အလုပ်တော့လုံးချင်ပါနဲ့ရှင်ငွေရှင်နဲ့မရှဲဖို့လို့မင်းတို့လေလုံးလုံးမရပါသူတို့လက်ခခဲ့ချားလို့ပို့လို့ကြည့်ရပါမယ်
အခုအလုပ်တစ်လုံးလုံးလို့မရပါ
လုံးလုံးမရတာကအရှင်ငွေရှင်မနဲ့ပဲလို့အကျော်လုံးလုံးနေသူတို့ထမဆောက်ထမစောမမင်းကျုပ်တာမမင်းကြီးပါနဲ့ကြော်လုံးမလို့ပါလုံးလို့ဆိုကလေးကမတို့ရဲ့အရောမဟင်းအလုပ်ကိုကြောက်တောင်ဆိုတော့မသူတောင်ဆိုလုပ်ခဲ့ပါရောက်တယ်မြေကြီးကျော်ကလုံးချင်ပါနဲ့ဖဲတော့လို့ချင်ပါနဲ့လုံးဖို့ကမရပါကျော်လုံးလုံးခုကြီးရှိတိကျုံမတားတာရှင်ငွေညာ
အမားရဲ့ခေသာမတဲနိုင်လို့အရှိတိကိုကြောင်းမထားနိုင်ဆိုကေအခုကျွန်တော်တို့ကြောင်းဖွန်းထားလေရွှေစရီကြောင်းဖွန်းထားလေရွှေစရီကြောင်းမှာအရှိတိကိုထားခရံအားဖရံအနာကဲမှာသူတို့စာမတဲနိုင်လား
တဲတို့တဲနေနေဘာတို့တဲနေပါဘုနဲ့အေကလေးကျွန်တော်ကညာကျုံမထောပိနိုင်ပါလို့လေ
ညာကြောင်းလေးအခုဖွန်းနေလေကျွန်တော်တို့ပါငါတန်းကားပေါင်းနေပြီကေစီတန်းတိအကားရပါလေညာကြောင်းပြန်မလဲ
ဖွန်းကေထောချင်ပါနဲ့
ဟမ်ဖွန်းဆိုမသိသေးလား
မသိပါသေး
ညာအေးဒီမပရောလား
မပရောပါ
ဒီနိုင်ကပေါင်းစားလို့ဖွန်းရလေညာကြောင်းရှိမလားငါတန်းကားပေါင်းစီတန်းတိ
ကျောင်းတခါမပရောမင်းတို့
ငါတန်းကားပေါင်းစီတန်းတိ
ရှိဟိုနိုင်ကတချင်းထောလိုက်ပါတလားဟလာထောနေလိုက်ပါတလားမလေးမတနေထ
So I think we're making a good job. We should go on what we're doing and making some publicity and making people alert for the problems in the third world. And like we see now that the border is going to open slowly, foreign investments were coming in. I think there's a little hope for the future.
A procession from the local community on the way to the temple marks the beginning of the New Year celebration. Three years since the first donation, we see an outcome larger and more successful than anyone had ever imagined. We all hope this new year will bring more good chances to Myanmar.
Well, the first time I visited Burma, I really fell in love with this country. I was living in different cities, and people were very nice. The culture.
He's always praying that you go to good health.
And I can learn more culture through languages.
This is my dreams. This practical service my dream.
Children here doing in the streets, shouldn't they be in the school?
Yes,
and then you started to talk about this temple.
Right. Okay.
And in fact, he brought me in this temple, and I remember it was 10 o'clock in the morning, and he said, look, look, the teacher, she should have been here at 9 o'clock, but we cannot pay her.
That's
And
true.
then I said, we can take a look for have one donation a year, so we can pay all the teachers. So at that moment, you can ask more of them. You can say, you start 9 o'clock, you stop 12:30,
Right,
you be in
right.
time,
That's
so
true.
no fooling around.
You have very good memory.
Yeah, well, I forget my keys and a lot of things, but
Yeah,
important
sure.
details I never forget. I never forget.